HGSL MVP, 2-time first team All-State, honorable mention for Naismith All-American, number 3 in the class of 2023 on ESPN, 1,000-point scorer, UNC Pitt. You've seen me on the court, you've seen what I can do, let me show you how I got here. Sports has always been a huge thing in my house. Both my parents were athletes and both them tried basketball. My dad didn't end up sticking with it, but my mom did, and she was very good. She played in high school, and she played in college, and she played professionally in England. So basketball was always kind of a huge thing in my household. When my dad first met her, she was coaching, so he knew right from the beginning that basketball was probably always going to be part of his life from now on. But growing up, they didn't just stick to basketball. They allowed me and my sister to play pretty much every sport we wanted, and we liked a lot of them, but in the end we both picked basketball, and I golf now too, so they were always super supportive of pretty much anything. But right from the beginning, it was always a sports household. I would just say growing up, it was always a priority, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons that me and my sister both ended up the way we did. My sister, she plays Division I at Rider, and she's 4 years older than me, so growing up, she was my role model. I traveled everywhere with her and my mom. My mom was coaching her for AAU, and I would just watch all their games and just be in that environment. Seeing the success she had growing up was really cool, and I think that it kind of fueled the fire for me. You always want to try and compete with your siblings, so even in the backyard at my grandma's house, me and my cousins, they were some of the most competitive games I've ever played in, even to this day. I think that kind of sparked the competitiveness in me, and it sounds like such a simple thing, doing your cousins playing basketball in your grandma's backyard, but I think it's been a huge part of the success that I've had. Coach Clark trained me from, I think, about 7th grade on. Started NEPA Elite after my freshman year, and that was the first year we did hoop group. That was just probably the best summer of AAU that I've ever had. I enjoyed it so much, and we had a lot of success, which also makes it a lot of fun. From then on, I kind of knew that NEPA Elite was special. It was just like a big family, and that carried on to last summer also. It was a really close team, and a lot of success came with it when I was going to have to pick staying or leaving. There was just something about NEPA Elite that I knew was special. Carrying my ACL, I wasn't able to play, but I just was really confident with that decision. Coach Clark does a great job with it. It's an organization that I'll always be a part of, and I'm so happy to say that I'm a part of it. My high school basketball is prioritized. Growing up, everybody wants to be a Lady Buck. I think that's something that's special, and it's a reason for having the success that we do. We have a great biddy program, which growing up my mom helped out with, and a bunch of other dads and moms. And so right from the beginning, Dunmore creates an atmosphere that where you could get better, and you have the resources. You have a great head coach, Coach O'Brien, and it's so unique to have a coach like that in high school and in a small town like we have. We have another family atmosphere there, and you make more memories outside the court than you do on the court. And when you're doing that and having success on the court, it's something special. And to be able to have that for AAU and high school, I've made so many memories that I really wouldn't trade for anything. Basketball is a huge commitment. I learned that from a young age just through my sister. You have to do extra, and when you're younger, that's really hard to process, but I honestly have come to love basketball. I love working out. Success is just what makes it all worth it, but when you see little successes, like when you're lifting and all of a sudden you hit a PR, you're like that's just such an amazing feeling. And when all of a sudden you add a new move and you use that in a game, it's just so worth it, and you just remember all the time that you put into making that happen, and it kind of just erases the regrets of not being able to be like a normal kid. Tearing your ACL is kind of a reality check. Your life changes in an instant. One minute you're trying to figure out how you're going to go forward, and the next minute you're scheduling a surgery. It's tough, but I honestly think everything happens for a reason. I do believe that I will come back stronger. If you don't face adversity, you don't learn them. I think in the end, I'll be thankful for it. Throughout this whole process, I luckily had my sister's process to take into factor. You get a whole different perspective. I mean, you take so many other things into consideration, like coaching, location, what league they play in. So when I was going through the process, you check some boxes on some schools and then you check others, and UNC checked every box from the beginning. The only thing that held me back was I hadn't visited there, and right when I got there, I was like, this is the place for me. From that moment, it was all Carolina Blue. Just couldn't wait to make it public and let everyone know that that was the school for me. Coach Banghart does an absolutely amazing job, and the success she had this year just kind of shows what she can do, and I'm excited to be a part of that. And I think they gained a lot of fans from Northeast Pennsylvania.